What's up, guys? My name is Almahdi. For those of you that don't know me, I have a multiple seven-figure Airbnb portfolio, and this entire channel is dedicated to teaching you exactly how to start. Pretty much the channel that when I was starting out, I wish existed so that I could learn how to start my Airbnb business. For those of you that actually want to work with me one-on-one, you can also click the link in my description. I work with a few people every month, and I give a one-on-one mentorship to those individuals on either starting their Airbnb from complete scratch the way I did, to multiple six figures or even seven figures, or also scaling your current portfolio and optimizing it. Both are options and both are something that I help you with. So now that that's out of the way, today I want to talk to you about how Airbnb has changed in 2025. It is completely different. The game has completely changed. And right now, at the time I'm shooting this video, it is the middle of June and there's uncertainty in the world. And that's kind of begging the question of, is it a good time to get into Airbnb or is it not? Well, here's what I have to say about that. When everyone is zigging, you need to zag. Okay? So what do I even mean by that? In any business that you're in, there's the timing for the general business opportunity. Then within that time frame, which we currently still are in for Airbnb, there is how you're standing out and what it is that you're doing to win in that business. Whether that's with Airbnb and rental arbitrage, owning and purchasing properties, or co-hosting, right? With all three and strategies are those that I teach. So what's changed in Airbnb is the opportunity where you can just go on and throw any property without putting thought into your amenities, without putting thought into your furniture and your design, without doing the proper market research. Those days are absolutely gone. The current market in today, as of June 2025, and where the market is heading, is people are looking for an experience. Can they post this on social media? Is your house really cool looking? Does it have Instagrammable moments, right? Does it have amenities that people love to use? Pools, spas, basketball or pickleball courts, movie theaters, game rooms, all of that needs to go in to how you are choosing, researching, and designing your Airbnb property, right? So with that being said, right, what is it that you need to do today to stand out from your competition? You need to make sure when you're doing your property research, you have vetted out that property so that your likelihood of succeeding and making a great cash on cash return is extremely high. So what I teach my students, we have a profitability calculator. We have a lot of metrics that we use when we're analyzing whether a property or even a market is the right place to go into. And you need to know how to do that. By the way, what are some of the tools that you can use? I use AirDNA. AirDNA has been very good for me. When you understand how to use it as an investor in Airbnb, whether you're doing arbitrage or buying or co-hosting, you need to run the numbers. You need to know what metrics to look out for. I'll give you a few right now. When you're on AirDNA, you want to look at occupancy rate, that percentage. And I advise my students and the properties that I look at, you want to be at least around 70% or greater. And there's also the average daily rate. These are two very simple metrics. Average daily rate is in that area, on average, what do the properties rent out for per night? Okay, so you want to be at least around $200 or more. And especially if you want to create a profit for yourself, which is why you're in the business to begin with, you need to have that healthy margin. And that healthy margin comes from being able to demand a certain price. Now, the other thing you want to do is when you're studying your market, especially when you're getting into Airbnb these days, is you want to stand out with amenities. That's going to be the key to your success. So whether you're purchasing or whatever strategy you're doing arbitrage, you need to make sure that that property either comes with certain amenities that you can honestly even enhance. So a pool, a spa, a large backyard where you can put a lot of these amenities. Is there an extra bedroom that you can turn, or a garage that you can turn into a game room or a movie theater? I'm just giving you some of the ideas that I implement at my properties, that my students implement at their properties that are doing extremely well. That is the new barrier to entry. You need to at least have these sorts of amenities at your property to compete. Now, taking it a step beyond that, how are you going to stand out when people are starting to do that? Well, you need to really understand the demographic that you're in and make sure you're catering your amenities to that demographic. For example, some of my properties are in areas where people love going golfing or playing tennis, right? So if there's a lot of golf tournaments annual golf tournaments, international or even national golf tournaments, I have golf little driving ranges at my properties. Okay, and people love those. Guests love them. They get to tee off right into the net. It's a driving range. There's also a putt-putt area. That's an example of understanding your market and creating amenities that cater to the people that are coming to your area. So again, understand who is coming to the areas that you're looking to do Airbnb in. Every single market has the reasons that people go to that place for vacation. Or if there's busy professionals that go there, they need maybe a home office. If you have a lot of people that are coming to your area for business, you have to make sure you have a very nice office area. That's going to help you sell the property. A desk, even a monitor, a nice ergonomic chair, all of these things that you can put in the pictures and market your business properly, market your property, properly. That's going to make you stand out, and that's going to get you booked up. And that is exactly how to win in 2025 and beyond. So the Airbnb opportunity is absolutely still alive and well. People are still going to be traveling, no matter what's going on. Whether there's a slight dip in the market in people being able to travel or not, if you have a top tier property, people are still going to travel, right? Because the people that have the ability to travel are still going to travel. And you need to create a plan or have properties and be in markets where that's the case no matter what. Because your strategy takes into consideration having all the amenities, creating a nice experience for your guests, you're not going to have to worry. And you're still going to have properties that the cash cows. And you create the cash cows by creating the right design. And again, it all comes down to the research, right? One of the things that I've done at one of my properties recently, more recently over the last few months, I built a pickleball court. Pickleball is something that is completely trending, and that has completely helped my property standing out in the market. So these are the sorts of things that you want to take into account when you're building your Airbnb portfolio. And yeah, come on in. My girlfriend just got in here. Say hi, the camera's turned around. But these are the type of things. You want to say hello? These are the type of things that you want to make sure that you're covering before you jump in and purchase, do Airbnb rental arbitrage, or anything like that. All right. So with that all being said, make sure you do thorough research and understand Airbnb is still an excellent opportunity. As long as you know what you're doing, you know what to research, you know how to research, and you understand the current strategies that are working, you can go in there starting with even $0. You can do co-hosting, starting with only about $10,000 to $15,000, starting with rental arbitrage. Or if you have a little bit more capital, you can still purchase properties. It's a great time to purchase properties. The market has shifted into a buyer market. And if you know how to negotiate, you know creative strategies for creative financing, seller financing, purchasing properties via subject to, which is also something that I teach, you are very well positioned and actually find properties that help you stand out and dominate in your market so that you can have an amazing cash flowing business that has several benefits to it. But you must make sure that you avoid the pitfalls of what many hosts are doing that are not doing enough research. However, if you know what you're doing, Airbnb is still an excellent opportunity to take advantage of in 2025. So for those of you that are interested in learning how to do that, I have a completely free course. It teaches you A to Z, how to go from total beginner, from scratch, and start an Airbnb business. And I teach you all three of the strategies that I mentioned: rental arbitrage, co-hosting, and even purchasing properties, many ways how to do that creatively and locking in low interest rates. You can click the link in the description and watch that completely free course. And then for those of you that are more serious about starting your Airbnb business and want one-on-one help and working with me one-on-one, you can click the link in the description and fill out an application, see if you qualify to work with me. I work with a few people per month, and I teach you in detail exactly how to go from a complete beginner in starting a profitable and successful Airbnb business in 2025. Be great.